Good morning. We have a quorum. Appreciate everybody's indulgence and patience as we gathered our numbers here. But with that, Kim, if you would please call the roll.
Senator Douglas. Here. Senator Southworth. Senator Yates. Representative Bowling.
Present from my district.
Representative Hart.
Here in the room.
Representative Mentor.
Here in the room.
Representative Cook.
Here in the room.
Chairman Meredith.
Present. First item on the agenda is consideration of the minutes of the March 9th meeting of the committee. Is there a motion that it be considered as being
So move.
Second.
motion by Representative Hart, seconded by Representative Mentor? All those in favor vote aye, all opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Douglas. Senator Southworth. Senator Yates. Representative Bowling. Representative Hart.
Yes.
Representative Mentor.
Yes.
Representative Cook.
Yes.
Chairman Meredith.
Aye. Motion carries. Total number of items on the agenda today are 332 in the amount of $175,282,714.61. All April agenda vendors are registered with the Secretary of State's office. Next is a deferred list. Note that number 50 on the March routine personal service contract list, the vendor is still in the process of registering with the Secretary of State's office, and Murray State University has requested another deferral. Do I have a motion to defer?
Second.
Motion by Representative Hart, seconded by Co-Chair Cook. All those in favor of the motion vote aye. All opposed vote no. Kim, please call the roll.
Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Senator Southworth. Senator Yates. Representative Bowling. Representative Hart.
Yes.
Representative Mentor.
Yes.
Representative Cook.
Yes.
Chairman Meredith.
Aye. Motion carries. Also on the deferred list, number 69 from the July routine PSC green list. If representatives are here, please identify yourself for the record.
Yes, sir. Kerry Harvey, Secretary of the Justice Cabinet, and I have with me Mona Womack, the Chief of Staff for the Justice Cabinet.
Appreciate you joining us this morning, as always. Excuse me while I find my notes here.
That's the deferred one, and then the one you pulled is
This is one that's been deferred for several months, and for members of the committee, you'll note that on our personal service contract list for this month, we have number 31, which is Access Forensic Toxology. And I'm not going to try to belabor this discussion, but this has been a long time in getting resolved, and certainly long before you were here, but appreciate the work you have done on this. So I'm assuming now that this contract with National Medical Services has ended. Is that correct?
It is all but ended. And Mr. Chairman, what we propose to do, we have entered into the new contract with Access, which it's been in operation for about a month. The report from the medical examiner and from the coroner community is that it's going very well. They're very pleased with the service. We propose to keep the NMS contract open for this reason. It is possible that some of the samples that they've already tested, there could be additional testing that is needed, or there could be a sample that might be sent to NMS by mistake by a coroner who is just in the habit of sending it to that lab. And we do not want a replay of the situation that we encountered last year, where the contract with the then existing vendor expired, but they had not completed all of the testing. So that, as you will recall, created an unfortunate delay in some of that work. So if we just leave this contract open, we think that there will be very little additional activity, but it will prevent any delay in the event that additional testing is needed on samples in their hands.
I appreciate that. Certainly, we don't want any disruption in the continuity of services for these situations. With this contract, its effective date is through June 30th, 2022. It will not extend beyond that period, will it?
No, sir. No, it will not. We may terminate it even before then. We are monitoring the activity on that contract. In fact, I think we have a meeting planned with that vendor next week. We just want to make sure that all of the coroners have the word about the change, and we've gone to great care to communicate that in collaboration with our friends in the Coroners Association. But after the experience last year, we just think it's wise to be pretty cautious about this, because we as you said, none of us want any disruption in these services.
And that's the primary reason I pulled contract number 31 with Axis Forensic Toxicology to kind of talk about this in concert with the one of National Medical Services. You know, this was a very appeared to be a very disjointed process. I'm going from memory here, but I think when we pulled this contract originally, that there were only 2 vendors that had replied to RFP. I'm assuming that's the situation this time as well.
But I think we actually only had one, to be honest with you. But the good news is that we think it's a good one. We think it's the contract is going very well. And of course, this is the vendor that we had before NMS, and I'm happy to report that the pricing on this Axis contract is exactly the same as the last Axis contract. So there's been no increase in the costs.
Well, when we had this discussion last summer, I think it was a July meeting when we first pulled this contract, I think I asked the same questions: how many had responded to the RFP? And at the time, I think I was told that only National Medicals had, because Axis did not meet the terms and conditions of RFP. That apparently there's some administrative problem with that. That's not the situation this time, is it? With National, not, I'm assuming they're the one that did not submit a proposal. Is that fair?
No, sir, that's correct. They did not. We only had one proposal, and you are correct. In the renewal last year, which predated my service in the Justice Cabinet, but as I understand, there were 2 proposals, but one of them was disqualified as not being responsive to the RFP, and so NMS was deemed to be the only qualified bidder. And then a protest resulted from that, and there was sort of a long tangled history to this. But I'm pleased to say that I think we are just about at the end of it, and I think the coroner community, as we understand, is very happy with the services that they're getting now, and the same would be true of the medical examiner's office. And again, the pricing is the same as it was under the last Axis contract.
Well, one of the things that caught my attention last year was the fact that National Medical Services, their contract was substantially higher than the previous contract. But then again, we were told they were the only vendor that met the qualifications of RFP, and to me, that's a little bit disturbing that we'd pay that additional cost when there must have just been a technical error in the RFP. I know this is a very specialized service, but are these the only 2 vendors that you're aware of out within the country that provides this service?
I think it is not the only 2 vendors, but I think a lot of these vendors operate on a regional basis. And I think it is a very small market, at least in our region, for these services. And I know when we issued the new RFP, we had considerable discussion about how to get the word out. And frankly, we would have hoped to have generated more proposals, because obviously competition is a good thing in this area, as with most others. And so we went to considerable lengths to make sure that the RFP was circulated. I think we may have even extended the time at one point, but this is where we ended up, and it is, I think, a pretty narrow market in our region when it comes to vendors.
I would think it would be as well, sir. But it always concerns me when we have a limited number of people replying or companies replying to these RFPs. And in some instances, I wonder if the word's out within that community, well, it doesn't do any good to respond because this company is going to get it anyway. And I'm not suggesting that's the case this time, but it's just a concern of mine, particularly with when we receive sole source contracts, which we see multiple of. But I think this has certainly hopefully been a learning experience for a lot of people as we go forward with these contracts. But I appreciate your work and hearing our committee's concerns about how this contract was awarded, and hopefully we won't run into these obstacles in the future.
And I would like to thank you, Mr. Chairman, as well as your colleagues on the committee for your work in this matter and for your patience as we've worked through it.
Well, I try to tell people that when you come before this committee, you should view that as a good thing, because we're kind of like the good housekeeping seal of approval. If we approve it, then you know it's a good contract. And if we don't, then that means that we have questions, and certainly our constituents have questions. But I appreciate your work on this since you've been a part of the cabinet. Are there questions from any of our committee members? Co-Chair Cook.
Not a question, Mr. Chairman. I would just ready to make a motion to approve number 69 from the deferred list.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor vote aye. All opposed vote no. Kim, please call the roll.
Senator Douglas. Aye. Senator Southworth. Senator Yates. Representative Bowling. Representative Hart.
Yes.
Representative Mentor.
Yes.
Representative Cook.
Yes.
Chairman Meredith.
Aye. Motion carries. Is there a motion on 31 from the PSC list?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve number 31 from the PSC green list.
Motion by Co-Chairman Cook, seconded by Senator Douglas. All those in favor vote aye. All opposed vote no. Kim, please call the roll.
Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Senator Southworth. Senator Yates. Representative Bowling. Representative Hart.
Yes.
Representative Mentor.
Yes.
Representative Cook.
Yes.
Chairman Meredith.
Aye. Motion carries. So it looks like this matter, which we've drung on for a year, has finally been resolved. And again, appreciate your hard work on this and commitment to doing what's right for the Commonwealth. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir, and thanks again to the committee, and I'll ask if I may be excused.
Most certainly, sir. Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
being part of our group this morning.
Yes, sir. Glad to do it. Thank you.
Okay, next order of business, consideration of the agenda, including the deferred list, the personal service contract list, PSC amendment list, memorandum of agreement list, memorandum of agreement amendment list, and the Kentucky Entertainment Incentive Program agreement list, except for those items selected for further review. Is there a motion to consider the contracts review without objection?
Second.
Motion by Representative Hart, seconded by Representative Mentor. All those in favor vote aye. All opposed vote no. Kim, please call the roll.
Senator Douglas.
Aye.
Senator Southworth. Senator Yates. Representative Bowling. Representative Hart.
Yes.
Representative Mentor.
Yes.
Representative Cook.
Yes.
Chairman Meredith.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item on the pool list with the Transportation Office Secretary is number 50 on the routine PSC green list. This contract was pulled by Senator Southworth. I understand she's in the building. We've just texted her to see if she's going to be arriving so that we can proceed with this one. But if representatives are here with transportation, please identify yourself for the record.
She said that you're handling green. Okay.
Good morning, Laura Hagan, Director of the Division of Purchases for the Transportation Cabinet.
Are you by yourself this morning?
I'm Will Fogel, the General Counsel for the Transportation Cabinet, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Fogel. Anyone else?
Yes.
I'm Gary Valentine from the State Highway Engineer's Office for the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet.
Thanks, sir.
And yes, sir, I'll wrap up. My name is Stacy Hands, and I'm with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet District 6 office in Northern Kentucky.
All righty. Again, Senator
I'm Shelby Peel with the Department of Aviation as well.
Anyone left? Takes a community. Senator Southworth pulled this contract. She's not able to be with us this morning, but Representative Hart has a question.
Yeah. To better understand why we're exceeding our maximum rate guidelines, Was there an RFP issued, and if there was, how many responses did you have? And that's directed to whoever can answer the question.
Yeah, so we did issue an RFP and we had 6 responses.
Okay. Well, kind of as a follow-up, could you explain what this firm could bring to the table in regards to like their expertise of why it necessitates exceeding our maximum rate guidelines?
Gary, I'll let you answer that one, or Will.
Will, you want me to take a stab?
Sure, Gary, go ahead.
Okay. Well, this particular contract is primarily needed to help us enter into an interstate cooperative agreement with the state of Ohio for the Brent Spence Bridge, a major project that's currently estimated at $2.8 billion. DBL, the firm, through the selection process, really demonstrated not only an understanding of the project given their locality in Covington, but also the bi-state development agreement that we had entered into with the state of Indiana for the Louisville Bridges project. Bi-state development agreement being kind of a parallel document to what we're doing with the interstate cooperative agreement. So DBL really demonstrated their knowledge of what was needed for negotiation of the terms and conditions of this interstate cooperative agreement, more so than the other firms pursuing this.
All right, thanks.
Co-Chair Cook, you have a question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Looking at the close proximity with this firm, my question deals exactly with that. Will there be any, with such close proximity where the construction is actually going to take place, will there be any conflict with them in handling any land disputes or land taking, anything with eminent domain that could arise out of this project?
Will, are you still there?
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, yes. The conflict of interest issue is addressed in the was addressed in the RFP and is to be handled on a case-by-case basis and by the Secretary of the Transportation Cabinet and the Office of Legal Services to ensure that there are no direct conflicts with the firm. The firm is under an obligation to inform the Cabinet of any potential or existing conflicts as they arise as part of the contract agreement.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Representative Hart, seconded by Representative Mentor. All those in favor of the motion vote aye. All opposed vote no. Kim, please call the roll.
Senator Douglas,
Aye.
Senator Southworth, Senator Yates, Representative Bowling, Representative Hart,
Yes.
Representative Mentor,
Yes.
Representative Cook,
Yes.
Chairman Meredith.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, folks, for being available to us this morning. Appreciate your answering our questions for us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Committee members, we have 2 contracts that have been pulled, and the member of our committee who pulled these contracts is not available, is not here. They are with the Department of Local Government, Clay County Fiscal Court, and Military Affairs Commission, University of Louisville Research Foundation. Do any of you committee members have questions about either one of these contracts? Apparently not, and folks, I appreciate you being here to be available to us this morning, and sorry that we drug you out in the wee hours of the morning, but I appreciate you being available to us. And with that, is there a motion on 46 memorandum of agreement list?
So move.
Motion by Co-Chair Cook, seconded by Senator Douglas. All those in favor of the motion vote aye. All opposed vote no. Kim, please call the roll.
Senator Douglas,
Aye.
Senator Southworth, Senator Yates, Representative Bowling, Representative Hart,
Yes.
Representative Mentor,
Yes.
Representative Cook,
Yes.
Chairman Meredith.
Aye, motion carries. Is there a motion on number 47 for the memorandum agreement amendment list? Motion by Representative Hart. Is there a second? Second by Senator Douglas. All those in favor of the motion vote aye. All opposed will vote no. Kim, please call the roll.
Senator Douglas,
Aye.
Senator Southworth, Senator Yates, Representative Bowling, Representative Hart,
Yes.
Representative Mentor,
Yes.
Representative Cook,
Yes.
Chairman Meredith.
Aye, motion carries. Again, folks, appreciate you being available to us this morning. Final items on the agenda are 2 exemption requests to consider. First one is with Transportation Cabinet, relates an exemption from the committee's routine review process for the KYTC's Aviation Economic Development Grant Agreements, but they will continue to provide quarterly reports to expire on June 30th, 2024. Second is a Board of Veterinary Examiners request for exemption from committee policy statement number 99-4, which prohibits contracts from crossing the biennium for the purpose of hiring a new legal services contractor and transferring all the current casework from the current council so the board doesn't experience a loss in continuity. The legal rate is $125, which is within our guidelines, and 100% of the agency funds to expire on June 20th, 2024. And of all the exemption requests we get, this is usually the most frequent because it does cross the biennial. So is there a motion to approve those
moved.
exemption requests?
Second.
Motion by Representative Mentor, seconded by Co-Chair Cook. All those in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Douglas,
Aye.
Senator Southworth, Senator Yates, Representative Bowling, Representative Hart,
Yes.
Representative Mentor,
Yes.
Representative Cook,
Yes.
Chairman Meredith.
Aye, motion carries. Before we adjourn, our next meeting in May is tentatively set for May 10th at 9 o'clock a.m. in this room as usual. In my, I guess, close to 4+ years on this committee, I believe this is the shortest committee meeting we've ever had. I hope that Co-Chair Cook will follow my leadership in the future.
I don't think I can do 32. And we didn't even start till 9:06.
That's right.
I can give a speech if you like.
We won't speak
If-
that long.
if-
If
If you feel compelled, the chair will yield to you. All right. So moved. We're out of here. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.